street. Y'all, I'm gonna have to call Verizon them today because first of all, they tripping. I'm gonna have to talk to somebody today because what y'all not finna do is play in my face. Like y'all ain't finna, and I had to went up on my plan, and now y'all talking about my hotspot finna run out. Somebody lying. Somebody is lying, and y'all gonna have to tell me about it. Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. Great people. How are y'all doing this morning? I hope you're having a fantastic morning. Y'all come in, like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for this morning. Let's get in the flow of abundance. You know what's so crazy to me? Can I say that? Am I supposed to say it? I can say it if I want to, can't it? Um, Let me just tell y'all, man, it's so I don't want this to sound bad, but I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Y'all already know that, don't it? Y'all know that about me already. Y'all know sometimes we got our priorities mixed up. We be having our priorities mixed up. It's like sometimes you don't realize that they're the things that you actually, this ain't part of the message, but that just came into my spirituals. Um, we be having our priorities messed up, y'all. The things that we think are the things that are important are actually the things that are least. How do I make that make sense? We be prioritizing wrong. Let's say, for example, let me give an example of this. What can I use? What I mean by this? We be putting emphasis on the wrong thing sometimes. Great morning, great morning. Drop this in the chat. Oh no, not yet. We're not gonna talk about it. Great morning, Pamela. Great morning. Pamela is checking in on the YT side of the street. Good morning, great morning, Touche and the community. I'm grateful for healing. Okay. Good morning, Coach Carol. Good morning, dearest one. I'm grateful for grafting and guidance. Indeed, and amen. True beauty in the building. I'm grateful for releasing the old and the new beginning. Receive it and do. We receive it, y'all. These new beginnings are so important on this. They are so important on this. Let me just tell y'all, it'd be so crazy the way the Lord will just do stuff, y'all. And I really even though, I'm gonna tell, can I say this part? Can I just tell y'all something real quick? I will tell y'all that sometimes, like we was talking about, that sometimes the things that you think are the most important are actually the things that the Lord say that's really not the thing you should be doing or be focused on. It's the stuff that you feel like oh, I don't need that, or I don't need to do that, or that's not for me, or I'm not going to do that part. I tell you what, it's the parts that you don't do that actually bring you the results in your life. Does that make sense to somebody? It's like and I'm gonna use this as an example. Great morning, y'all. Great morning, y'all. Like the live, share the live, share the love. Because guess what? Let's just get started. Drop this in the chat. Quicksand. Quicksand. That's what we're talking about this morning. Quicksand. Now we're gonna look at this a couple of ways this morning. And of course, we're gonna get some scripture with this as well. Quicksand is what we're talking about this morning. Great morning, Mimi. Great morning, honey one. And thank you for sharing the live, dearest one. Quicksand. Okay. Y'all, so as I was up early this morning, the Lord literally woke me up at like 3:16 this morning. Good morning, Chris Curls. Good morning. The Lord woke me up at like 3:16 this morning, and I was like, and I immediately I heard him talking about quicksand. And I was like, well, Lord, what that even mean? Well, sure enough, he took me to a scripture about it in the book of, we going back, y'all. We got to go back one more again to the book of Matthew. Hold on, I had changed my page. We're going back to the book of Matthew. We going back. We going back. Because the Lord was like, man, we are in the full moon in Pisces energy, very much tapped in, very much aware. The Lord was like, this the time. This is the time to really get serious about releasing your blockages. To really, y'all know yesterday we talked about bricks. So it's a couple things I got to tell y'all about these. We still talking about bricks, okay? We're talking about foundations. And in the book of Matthew, going to Matthew 7 this morning, we're going to do Matthew 7:24 through 27. Thank you for sharing the live, dearest one, when we're talking about quicksand. So first things first, let me tell y'all what the Lord has said. Y'all like the live, share the love. So he said yesterday, I got the number 1143 yesterday. I don't even remember what I was doing, but I ended up getting the number 1143. And then This message said, yesterday we talked about bricks. Today it's building on a solid foundation. So when God gives us a brick, and y'all know yesterday we talked about them bricks be whatever they's gonna be for you. It could be an idea, it could be something that He's giving you. It can be love. It can be whatever your bricks are. I'm not trying. Can't tell you what your bricks are because only you know what you're praying for, right? You know what you asking the Lord for. So when God gives us a brick, what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? Okay, let me. So now Matthew 7:24 through 27 talks about building a solid foundation. Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Though the rain comes in torrents and the floodgates rise above the wind and rise above, the flood waters rise and the winds beat against that house, it won't collapse. Drop that in the chat. It won't collapse. Couple of things the Lord was talking to me about this morning. So, first of all, we need to be very focused on building a solid foundation with the Lord. Okay. We talking about quicksand because sometimes, remember yesterday, sometimes we didn't build something or we'll build something or we think that that's the thing that we want to build, but it ends up being quicksand. It sinks. We want to build things like we talked about with the bricks yesterday. We want to build things that are not going to collapse. We don't want to build anything temporary. We don't want to build anything. This is relationships. This is businesses, whatever this is for you. This is even your connection with the Lord, right? Because the thing that's part of what the first thing I was saying is sometimes the things that we think are important are the things that are the least important, especially when you're trying to change your life and step into a new beginning. So today we want to focus on what's anchoring us, what's holding us down, what things were really built on quicksand that we're now recognizing that we need to let go of so that we can actually build with the Lord, okay? Because not by yourself. Most of the times, the things we build on quicksand are things we trying to do by ourselves, right? So we want to start focusing on the things that are necessary. And people, I'm gonna say it because I think it's important to say. Sometimes the things that we're focusing on, or the things that we think are the most important, y'all, are the things that the Lord says are the least important when you're building. Okay, coming back. It won't collapse because it is built on bedrock. I can make your bedrock. Y'all trapped out today? It's Tuesday, ain't it? Oh Lord, don't get beside yourselves. Okay, here we go. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish. I come through with something real foolish. They like, boy, you a fool. Shut up, shut it low. Come back. Like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against that house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. Anybody going, so first things first, anybody going through some tower moments? Is the Lord removing some things out of your life because it's time and it's necessary? A lot of times, them things we be trying to hold on to. We be trying to hold on. The Lord didn't try to he trying to strip something away from you and make you understand that this is no longer necessary in your journey. Okay. There's some tower moments. The tower only means change. Okay. The tower is there to signal that it's time for change. Now you have a choice. You can either let the tower fall, or you can try to hold it up. This one of them quicksand moments, right? You trying to patch it up. You trying to, oh man, look at that brick. It started cracking, it's crumbling. You know what? I'm gonna just put a little, what is that? They said shackling. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. You trying to keep the tower from falling down. So you trying to put little patchwork on it. Like, I don't know. They called it something. I don't know if that's something you do when you clean and stuff. I don't know. Good morning, Kathy. But you be trying to patch some stuff up instead of just letting it fall, instead of just letting it completely fall away. But you don't understand. why you keep on having to patch something. Sometimes what the Lord is trying to make you understand is that these things need to fall away. Why? So it can rebuild, be rebuilt stronger, be rebuilt solid, because you can do as much patchwork as you want to. Eventually spackle, that's the word. Thank you, dearest one. Shack, I thought they said shack, not shack. I said shackling, child. I don't know spackling. I don't know what that is. Somebody knew what I was talking about. Thank you, honey one. You can keep on trying to patch some stuff, okay, but eventually you're gonna get to a point. It's like a tire. You run over something with a tire, you might be able to get a plug, but eventually you're gonna have to get a new tire. You ain't gonna be able to ride on that tire forever. Once that tread wears down, then that plug ain't gonna work as good as it did. So what we got to start focusing on, not trying to patch. Sometimes you don't need to put no patches on some things. Sometimes you need to just let some things. I almost said a cuss word, didn't it? Felt it. Thank you, dearest one, for the blessings. Sometimes you just got to let some things fall away, so and then just be confident to know that when you're rebuilding it, it's not going to be on the quicksand. It's going to be on the Lord. And I don't know who needed this particular message, but full moon energy, y'all, this is when the Lord is really trying to communicate with us. Is anybody praying for a new beginning? Is anybody praying for a new opportunity? Is anybody praying for something new? I am. So the Lord, I'm not in a state, because when the Lord tell me to let go of something, let me tell you what you say, Daddy. You say let it go. Okay, yes, done. No hesitation. Because what this the thing, y'all, we can't keep praying for stuff and then the Lord say, well, I'll do that for you, because he will. Because remember, you get what you pray for. You can't keep praying for stuff, but you like, well, Lord, I want this new. It's like if you want a new house, why you want to keep paying? You ain't gonna want to keep paying rent or mortgage on the old house. That was the old house. Remember, come on, Arctic. Remember we talked about yesterday, like, man, I'm sorry, Lord, I can't take that old brick. Them old bricks ain't gonna work on this new house, because we have been crafted and molded, and the Lord didn't think of yourself as the brick. Like you not even the same. So you ain't gonna be the same in this new environment, this new job, this new relationship, because you're not taking the old you into this new beginning. Like when the Lord tell me to cut something out, y'all, I be like, okay, Lord, period. And sometimes that's the one. So when the Lord was also talking to me about quicksand, he was talking about the fact that sometimes, y'all, we gotta. This is the time. Like this is the time to start looking at the things that are holding you back from this new beginning. We talked about this yesterday, but the Lord is heavy on this, because it's like the Lord is trying to answer prayers, but sometimes we don't allow the Lord to answer our prayer. Remember, we talked heavy yesterday on accountability. So what is it that's anchoring you? What is built upon quicksand that you need to say, okay, Lord, I'm gonna let it sink. I'm gonna let it sink. I'm gonna let you have it, Lord. I'm gonna let it sink, and I'm willing to start over. I'm willing to, because I'm praying for a new beginning. I'm praying for it, and you want to give it to me, but he can't give it to you if you're not making room for it. Drop this in the chat. I'm making room. Okay. I'm making room. Oh, let's do it now. Before we get the cards and see what's happening for this full moon in Pisces, the other thing I just heard, I don't know who message this is, but in journaling just now in the meditation, which part? To go back and talk about. Mhm. Okay, so let me go back and talk about this real quick, because they said don't miss this part. Can I just told somebody this about this before we start the message? Now y'all know we got to keep it a buckles, okay? I keep it a buckles on here. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, and sometimes we need a little check me in our spirituals. Let me just tell somebody this. Who okay? Now I want y'all to be honest. Y'all got to tell the truthist.com. You got to tell the truth is. Uh, who thinks that it's more important to hear a message from the Lord than it is to receive a message from the Lord? Does that make sense? Are y'all tracking with me? Do you think it's more important to hear someone else give you a message from the Lord, Or is it more important for you to establish your own connection with the Lord to receive your message, to receive your answer? Prioritization. Sometimes we be prioritized. See, this the thing. Can I tell somebody this? You don't need nobody to stand. I understand. Yes, we hear people say stand in the gap and all of that, and intercessor and all of that, and I believe in that, and because I pray for everybody. But can I tell y'all that some of us have our priorities in disarray? But see, this the thing, Russ. This is the thing. You can't get it wrong. The problem is that you're depending on someone else to speak for the Lord for to the Lord for you, and that's not what God wants. God wants you to go and say, Lord, I don't know if I be hearing right, but I'ma just come talk to you anyway. And I don't care if you got to say that every single day. I don't care. Eventually, you gonna hear from the Lord, and you gonna be like, wait a minute, what was that? I don't know who needs this message. Why am I pointing this out? It amazes me, and I can only tell people things that work, but I can't make you do it, right? I cannot stress the importance. Do y'all follow wealthy people? Do you follow people who like if you're trying to, let's say you're trying to be wealthy or successful, because most of us are, right? We are trying to create success in our lives. Do you think that those people, now we're not talking about the people who ain't even working for the Lord no more. We on the light side of the street, so I focus there, right? Do you think that those people have do you think those successful people have a spiritual practice message? Well, P. Diddy then got indicted. Okay, I'm back. Do you think that they have a practice that they do? And we're focusing on practices, like spiritual practices or daily practices in TU this week as well. Do you think that they have something established that they do to keep them connected, to keep them, because you realize success comes because the Lord grants it, because the Lord decides who will rise and who will fall. Do you think that successful people have a practice or something that they do, whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation, whether it's journaling? Do you think that they have, child, it's a lot of them too, because the Lord is shaking I almost cuss a word. I did, because he's shaking some stuff up. Because it's the thing. That's that quicksand. Anyway, I'm back. That's that quicksand. Everything aligns. The Lord, I wasn't gonna get into that. I know the Lord told me about it, but I wasn't gonna get into it. This is just the beginning. That what we seeing now, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get back. I want y'all to think about that, baby. It's shake, rattle, right? Drop this in the chat. Shake, rattle, and roll. Lord, that need to be a message. Shake, rattle, and roll. That's what's happening. Cause I'm finna tell y'all, can I just tell y'all that I don't often do this, because a lot of times I just stay out of stuff that ain't my business. But when I tell y'all the Lord is shaking and rattling and rolling, he meant that in him spirituals, and he tearing some stuff down. I was finna say it, because I'm gonna say it one time. The Lord know my heart. I'm gonna say it. He tearing some shit down. He doing it. He's doing it. Why? Because them things was built on quicksand. It's a little shake, rattle, and roll going on in a multitude of ways, in a multitude of places. So you better say it. Hollywood, politics, internationals. It's so many things that are falling apart. Why? Because they weren't solid to begin with. They didn't get it the right way. You understand me? The church, I said what I said. I want somebody to know this? Can we drop the word replacement? hmm Can we drop the word replacement in the? Do you realize that some of y'all, woo, Lord, this wasn't even the message, but Dad, as this comes out, the sun began to shine on this side of my face. Let's talk about it, and then we'll move on. It's some replacement that is happening. What's happening? The Lord is raising. That's a better word. Can we say remnant? Ain't no more play. Ain't no more play. The Lord said him was tired. And so understand this. Some of you gonna be a replacement. You ain't even know it. You ain't even know you was a replacement. You the remnant. Drop that in the chat. I'm the remnant. You don't even really like, a lot of times if you don't be like, I stay out of stuff because I stay in my own lane doing my own thing, right? The Lord is raising up some folks in this season, y'all. This is why it's so important to do with what the Lord has told you to do. When he gives you a brick, he needs you to do something with it, because it's bigger. It's always bigger than us, right? It's always bigger than what we think, because his ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And so the Lord in the church, this is why I kid y'all not. Now, this is no disrespect to anybody church, but let me just tell y'all, it's some craziness stuff going on in these church houses now. It's some craziness, and this ain't the end of it. Every time you look up, you see the people in them. Oh, y'all said that yesterday. Oh my gosh, that's a message. What did y'all know? Y'all said that this morning. It's a message that y'all gave it to me. Hold on. This for another, I guess it's for now. Hold on. They told me this morning when I was in prayer, y'all. Okay. Woo! I don't even want to say it because it's a whole message for a whole nother day. I don't want to say it. Let me just, okay, I'm back because, baby, this a message. I'm going to have to put that on the calendar because y'all show said it this morning. Okay, I'm back. Listen, I'm not here to talk about anybody's church. I don't social media a lot, but the Lord has made me become aware of things that are happening. And there's a lot happening in the church. Why is the Lord raising people up? The people he's bringing out of the woodworks, the people he, come on, the Davids. I just heard like David. It's some folks out here like myself, right? And I'm not saying, well, yes, I claim that. Thank you, Lord. I receive that, because I don't often say like, but I know that the Lord is putting me in a position. He's putting people who are doing unique things and extraordinary things, and teaching the gospel and preaching the word of the Lord and helping people to reestablish their faith. He's doing it in a different way. Why? Because people ain't resonating with the church house no more, y'all. Why? Because every time we look up, the people who are supposed to be leading and guiding and directing and tending to the flock, to the sheep, right? Like David was out there tending to the sheep. The people who's supposed to, it's like we supposed to be looking to these people. Now, number one, we shouldn't be putting anybody up on no pedestal. But number two, I'm gonna say this, and we coming back to another mess, because it's gonna be a whole nother message for another day. Don't look like it, live like it. Don't look like don't, it's because this the thing, when you real deal out here doing the Lord's work. And I am not, again, this is no criticism, this is no, I'm not talking about nobody, but let me just tell you, this is my truth. This is my truth. I'm not speaking on anybody's truth. I don't just come on here and act like I'm living for the Lord. I really am living a life that I'm trying, doing my very, very best to live the right way. And what happens is, a lot of times we keep seeing these people who ain't living right, but you're trying to tell somebody else that they supposed to live right, and it's not working out, because that's why people are not trusting the people who were once in these positions. Does that make sense? So don't look like it, live like it. Some people are so focused on looking like, right? And this is, I guess you could call it worldly. When you like, I don't feel, I'm like, man, listen, it's to me, it's more important for people to have faith and believe in the Lord and trust in him and understand that he really did, right? He really did will show up in your life. And I think that what's happening is it's why so many people end up getting going down on the wrong side of the street. You understand? Because it's almost like the message is lost. The good news is lost. And I don't go to church, y'all, so I can't speak on nobody church, but I see what I see. It's like we've lost what, like, I feel like some people, and I think it happens with everybody. And I can't say it won't happen with me, but I'm gonna do my very best to make sure that it doesn't. Because why? Because I understand where I came from. I came from the darkness into the light. And I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe sometimes people I don't know. I love it here. So I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know if it's peer pressure. I don't know. Worldly pressure. I don't know. But don't look like it, live like it. Like you live a certain type of way, y'all. In my just speaking for me, I live a certain type of way. Message. I live to please the Lord. Like I really want God to be good with me, because when God good with me, good things happen in my life. And I'm not saying good things don't happen in anybody else's life, but I know the more I just try to do right and be right and walk in mine integrity, right? Walk in mine integrity. Good things been happening in my life, and good things happening to my children, and good things are happening to the people that come on these lives. Like Jay Causey said, he got interviewed by Whoopi Goldberg. I want to see people have great and amazing things happen. Are we going to slip up sometimes? Sure, we will. But the more you slip up a couple times, and then you finally get to a point and you be like, Lord, I don't want to slip up, because when I slip up, things don't be going right. They be going left. And so I'll be like, no, Lord, I'm going to just try to stay over here on the narrow path. And it's easy. That's why I guess many people don't find it or walk it or live it, because it requires a different level of commitment. It requires a different level to just try to consistently be a good person. But I want to do right. I want to do right. I want to, because I like being successful, and I like being happy, and I like being on the right side of the Lord. And listen, let me stay in God's lane, because the ride is smooth over here, baby. Come on, drop that in the chat. The ride is smooth in God's lane. The ride be smooth, and I like that. I like it, because I done been over there on the off-roading. Come on. Y'all saw they called it off-roading. I've been off-roading before, and baby, listen, I ain't have no, what's the all-terrain vehicle. Y'all so foolish. I ain't have one of them ATVs, baby. I didn't have one of them. I was trying to drive a Malibu. Oh, y'all trying to drive a Malibu. Oh, gee, y'all so foolish, man. I'm trying to drive what I had before this, Lord. I was trying to drive a Honda CRV. I was trying to drive the wrong thing over there in the wilderness. Oh my gosh, y'all so foolish. But I can drive this Malibu now, child. I ain't have it to do in them times. I ain't going off roading. I don't want to go. Your tire be busted. Oh Lord, okay, I'm back. I had a moment. OMG, child, I was off roading, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, I ain't never been. Well, if it was that light, baby, I don't want that. I'm stay over here. Oh, y'all so foolish today. I'm not gonna play with Spirit Neum. Think about think about what car you was driving when you was over there off roading, baby. Baby, I don't because that little Honda CRV, that little 101, that's why I didn't make it. That's why it didn't make it. Okay, I'm back. That's why I ain't got her no more. Love you, CC, wherever you at, 101, because she ain't make it. She ain't make it out the wilderness. Anyway, I'm back. Y'all so foolish. So just know that the Lord is shaking some stuff up. Okay. Look, talking about crash twice. Child, I think I crashed 4 times. I don't even know. I can't even count. First of all, y'all ain't got to try to handle us, because we know we was over there off-roading, and next, we ain't going. That's where them tests be. I don't want to go over there. Okay, I'm back. So, needless to say, y'all, the Lord is shaking some things up. And every time you look on the internet, okay, on God's good internet, you see another example of how the Lord is shaking some things up, right? How he's doing some things different. This is why it's so important to do something with. Look, Mimi said I was off-roading in a Saturn Aura, baby. Listen, that's that karma first. That's the devil. I'm just saying, I'm not talking about your car, but she said Saturn, devil, karma, test, temptation, trials, tribulations. I'll never own one. Papa Saturn be doing too much. I can't play with Papa Saturn, baby. Papa Saturn. Woo, my God. Because he be, I promise he was in my life heavy. When your third, when the next, how many, what's the age range when you have your next Saturn return? You have the first one between 17 and 21. Lord, am I coming up on one? Can I speak to, okay, this is something else. I'm talking about Papa Saturn. Somebody look up this. Look up this. I'm back. I think it's between, when is the second Saturn return? You have your first one between 17 and 21. Look back on your life. I'm trying to help somebody. I think I'm getting close, ain't it? Am I getting close? What is it, like 47, something like that? 45 to 50. Baby, listen, let me just tell somebody right now. I'm getting closer. Lord, listen, I'm gonna tell somebody this. Let me talk to you real quick about this Saturn returnish, okay? So every person, I don't care who you are, is it 55? Somebody tell this in your, I promise this in your, somebody look it up. Look, Russ said, when I was religion doing the most off-roading in a smart car. Child, listen, at least you had some smart. I ain't even had no smart. Let me tell y'all about your Saturn return, right? Every 27 years. Okay. So every 27 years you have a Saturn. Okay. So I'm not. Okay. Whew, okay. So when you look at your Saturn return, it's a time in your life when everything start going crazy in your life. When I say everything, I mean it. I mean it's that first, it's like you live for that first, I guess we'll say first 27 years, right? Look back at your life and see what happened for you when for your first Saturn return. I can't remember because I have this has been so long ago and I ain't thought about this, but that Saturn just took me to it. Then we gonna get back. This is okay, I'm back. Listen, you gonna look, it's like you live that first set of years, and it's like, did you gonna go through some experiences, then you go through your Saturn return, and typically something life changing. Oh, it is 27. Okay, I'm back. Because at 27 for me, y'all, my Saturn return 27, that's when my mama, that's when you died. It sure was. During my Saturn return season, my mama died, I got divorced. um I started doing illegal, I started doing drugs during my Saturn return season. hmm Life fell apart. So the next time you get to your next Saturn return 27 years later, it's going 27 to 31, 56 to 60, 84 to 90. Thank you, dearest one. So look back to your life between the ages of 27 and 31. Look what happened for you in that time. My mama died. I started, man, my life just went to, I spiraled, right? That's when my depression started it. So yes, you right on the tail end of your Saturn return. By the time your second one get here, it's a time for you to, because Saturn gonna come back around and be like, what did you learn in these 27 years? True story. I don't know who needed that information in case you're trying to figure out why everything in your life is going cray cray. It is a fact. It is a true story. I am not making this up. If you're going through your Saturn return, at 27 to 31, 55 to 50, whatever, what did Jay Causey say, 55, 56 to 60, that's when Saturn come back around and say, did you learn your lesson? Okay, so this is why we learning our lessons, because by the time Papa Saturn come back, I'll be done worked off all the stuff that I did, I didn't learn some things in these, and it didn't take me 27 years to learn it either. It took me a few years, right? It took me a few, but it didn't take me as long. Like, man, everything started going crazy. It sure did. Anyway, I'm back. I don't know who needs to know that, but was that the Saturn return, or is this it? Whatever, however old you are, when you turn from the age of 27 to 31, look at if you're older like me, I'm 21 plus tax. What? If you're 21 plus tax like me, what happened in your life between the ages of 27 and 31? Now, if you was living your life right, it may not have been like a whole bunch of negative stuff that happened, but for me, it was like crazy because I was living a crazy life and mama died, and so I just had a lot. But look, it may be some significant, whether good or bad, something within that time frame that happened that was a pivotal point in your life that set you on a path, and either you still on that path, which if you're over here, you're probably not. If it was something that was detrimental, if you over here, you no longer on that path, because now you're choosing to walk with the Lord, right? You're choosing to walk with the Lord. So it was crazy. Yeah, yeah, that's a true story, y'all. And so you'll have Papa Saturn gonna come back again between 55 and 60 and say, did you learn your lesson? Are you still on the same path? I don't know who needed that message, but okay, I'm back. So a lot of what's happening, even with the world stuff, y'all, is like the Lord is shaking some stuff up. He's getting rid of some people. He's raising some people up. It's a lot of people. And I heard this the other day, but I didn't listen to it. Or no, I saw the word replacements. Um, he's preparing people to be replacements. I don't want to give that example, but I kind of mentioned one, and it's not that people are dying or anything like that. It's not that. But it's literally like new people are being put into positions where they're going to be a positive, they're going to be like a positive impact, a source of positivity and inspiration and motivation for the masses. The best example that I can think of right off the top of my head is Tabitha Brown. Love you, Tab. Sending you so much love, light, and healing energy. Right. Like Tab is doing it right, and she's a light. She's positive. And so the Lord is like putting people in positions that are going to lift up, people that are going to inspire and motivate and encourage people. But there's so many people, y'all, but she's just the first one that came to mind, right? Different pastors, different people. He's putting people in position because he's got to put people who are not only living they're not worried about looking like they serve God. They're living like, come on, they're living like they serve God. They're living from a place of integrity. They're living from a place of truth. They're living from a place of really trying to help people. Cat Williams is another person, right? I love, shout out Cat, love you. So it's like Cat Williams is a person, people who are really trying to give back, people who are really trying to help other people be great. They're not focused in on messiness and drama and all this kind of crazy stuff. He's putting people in position who are actually a benefit and who are actually trying to show other people and help other people come up. And because if y'all ain't never, like, I am a fan of Cat Williams. Number one, he is extremely intelligent. Okay. He like people think he's all jokes, but he's like a true genius, right? And so, but you hear so many stories. If you've ever done any research on him, you see so many stories or hear so many stories. Like, he is really the person. He's bringing other comedians up. Um, like, he's bringing other comedians up. He's helping and being a resource and a benefit to people. So the Lord is putting people in position that are doing that are not focused on the negativity, because there's so much of that, right? And a lot of things that were built on quicksand, he's tearing it down. Why? Because the Lord get tired, y'all. And the thing is, there's so many people in the world right now who need the motivation, who need the inspiration, who need the encouragement to get out of the predicament that they're in. And so I hope that made sense for somebody. So yeah, you are the remnant too. This is why if the Lord gives you something to do, come on Aquarius, come on Mercury. If the Lord gives you something to do, do it. This is them bricks. You got to do something with them. That's what the message was talking about, right? If the Lord is giving you something, nope, it's not going to happen overnight. There's not a single person who's successful that everything happened for them overnight. It just doesn't work like that. But you got to just start somewhere. You got to start building. Okay. I love how fast he moved the ones needing to be released. Kat was raised in the same religion I was a part of, Jehovah Witness, no longer a part of that though. Look, Cherie as well. We are really living in Daniel 2 and 22. He is revealing deep and hidden things that lie in darkness. Come on, Uranus Tower. When we just talking about the tower moments, y'all, Uranus represents the tower. Can't make it up. Okay, innovation, technology, rebellion, disruption of the status quo, freedom, revolutionary vision, urge for change, new possibilities, upheaval, eccentricity, and raw genius. Told y'all. Can't make it up. Okay. Um, can't make it up, y'all. So just know that the Lord is shaking some things up. Why? Everything that's built on quicksand, he's like, enough is enough. And God said, exactly. God said what he said. He meant that. Thank you, Lord. We receive it. So it's a lot of innovation. Look at the things. What was it that I saw? Y'all don't have to believe this if you don't want to. Y'all ever seen, I know y'all done watched like Terminator. I know y'all done watched like The Matrix. Y'all, if y'all don't think that those were a precursor to what is happening in life, let me say that. I'm gonna say, because I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I don't, I've never used like Chat GPT. I'm not against it. I have used, come on, Lord, come on, the moon. If we get this super moon card, I'm gonna know something. Full moon, we receive it. So this kept on showing up. You did, ma. You this is I've been talking to my mama through this card all day. And since yesterday, because it kept showing up on my widget. If y'all ain't got these digital downloads, y'all sleep. Okay. Y'all need to get these cards. Okay, I'm back. Y'all, you remember it's like iRobot, right? Like we do so many things. Part of the innovation that's happening, part of the technology that's happening, y'all, is what's really happening in the world right now. Like you don't really have to think about how you want to do stuff. You just get AI to write it. Have do any of y'all think about this kind of stuff? Like I'm not mad that it's available, but do y'all think about, y'all ever be like, man, you know, it was a movie that came out 15, 20 years ago that literally talked about how we almost are at a point where we don't even have to think for ourselves. Um, we have artificial AI that's thinking for us. Anyway, I said, but it's innovation though. You look at, we have electric cars, like, y'all, can we just like the advances that the Lord is making? And it's cray cray. Anyway, I'm back. So just think about that innovation. Yes, things are, I said to myself, I was like, man, I can't even imagine when my children are my age and I'm gonna be a spirit nymph, like OMG. But like the things that they're going to have, if you just look at the things that we have now and how advanced these phones are, and your phone always listening to you, like I be scared sometimes, like I don't know who on the other side of my phone. I be feeling like my phone tapped. I sure did. I did the research because I felt like somebody was in my shit. It's, you know, too much. You be knowing what I got going on. You know too much. And I be like, wait a minute. Hold on. Anyway, I'm back. So innovation, your phone is always listening. Big brother, that's what y'all said. Big brother, come on, brother. Let's see what else. Intuition, the mother, I know it. Y'all said, you said, I told y'all spirit nymphs is coming through. Secrets, hidden info, fear, illusions, emotions, prosperity. Come on, prosperity, we receive it. This full moon is bring. Look, the blue moon at the bottom of the deck. I told y'all somebody finna get ready to have an opportunity. You ain't got to believe me if you don't want to, but I feel it in my spirituals. Mm-hmm. I receive it. I ain't lying. I receive it. Only do it. Here we go. What else? Look, it came out anyway. I should have just took it. We have Mercury that's coming out. Communication, thought patterns, reasoning, adaptability, perception, learning. Ooh, come on, speaking engagement. I don't know. Somebody might be like have a speaking engagement. We receive it. What else? Mm-hmm. Oh, this is divide. This is commute. Oh, okay. Well, then thank y'all. That makes sense. Somebody spirit names y'all. Spirit names is talking to y'all. Are you listening? The Lord is speaking. Are you listening? Oh, that makes so sense. Okay, let me go back. I'm sorry. I got to come back real quick. So remember, we were talking about prioritization. Y'all ain't gonna let me leave it. Y'all want to make sure I'm gonna say that, don't it? I'm gonna say it. Somebody mentioned talking about like if you're praying, the Lord is not. I'm so happy and so grateful. Trust and believe. I am so happy and so grateful to be a messenger for the Lord. I live to do this. I live to communicate God's messages to people. I love it. This is my full-time job and I love it here. However, My goal is to tell people, go talk to God yourself, because God got some things that he wants to say to you that he's not going to tell anybody else. Who need This is about blueprints, right? This is about your bricks and, Lord, what am I supposed to be doing? People be wanting to know what your purpose is. Your purpose comes from the Lord. Can't nobody tell you what you're supposed to show up and do in the work, like the work that you're supposed to do, the work that the Lord wants to bless you with. But the only way you're going to get that is if you give the Lord time to speak to you. What do I mean? I don't mean this in a bad way, but do you know how crazy it is to me? Do you know that sitting down and giving God 15 minutes of your time by sitting and doing a 15-minute journal meditation is more important than me getting up here doing these messages? Do you know that more people will show up for this than you will for those 15 minutes, but it's actually those 15 minutes that mean more to God than me giving these messages? Does that make sense to somebody? And you have to learn how to prioritize giving the Lord time to speak to you, because when you're sitting down and you're journaling and you're quiet and you're just allowing things to come to you, this I'd be so blowed. And this is no judgment, but it just blows my mind, y'all, that people be like, well, I don't think God is speaking to me. When are you giving time? Like, when are you giving the Lord 15 minutes of just quiet time where you're not speaking? You can pray, but then you shut up for 15 minutes. Do you realize that it is more important? I would much rather that all of y'all show up and do journal meditation than sit here for me to give these messages. And that is a true to life story. Why? Because I don't need to stand in the gap and communicate God's message for you, to you. I need you to go and build your relationship with him and allow him. People, the thing is, do you realize why it's so easy for me to hear God? Because all I do is sit in silence, and me and God are always communicating. Most times, y'all, I don't sit up and listen to the radio. I'm not sit When I'm driving, I'm literally usually driving in silence. Like, I give God time to speak to me. That's why it's so easy for God to speak to me. It's so easy for Spirit and them to speak to me, because I give them that space. I give them that time. And so I want somebody to understand this. One of the things that you're going to have to prioritize is sitting down and before your world starts. And why do I say meditate in the morning? The Lord told me to start doing these meditations in the morning, because all we doing is sitting here and listening to some meditation music, and you can be in the middle of journaling and all of a sudden, boom, you'll hear something in your spirituals and you'll be like, oh man, okay, because that's an active pathway. Come on, God, it's an active pathway. It's you allowing yourself to receive. Drop this in the chat. I'm gonna receive the Lord. You want to know, but understand this. It has to be consistent. You can't expect the Lord to talk to you if you're not even willing to sit down for 15 minutes a day and allow the Lord to just say something. And sometimes the Lord ain't going to say nothing. Why? Because he ain't got nothing to say. So sometimes you just need to be grateful. The Lord see you giving 15 minutes of your time to him every day. And you can, yes, I'm not saying don't pray, because you should pray as well. But you should be able to sit down. And people, this is why I'm doing this in a journal meditation, y'all. Because you don't, yes, I can sit down and lotus position meditation, and it's beautiful. But sometimes you can just take a walk and take your earphones out and don't put them in. Don't put your earphones on. Sometimes just walk and just listen to the birds chirping and listen to the wind blowing. Because just like didn't the Lord speak in the wind? It was the gentle whisper. Remember when Elijah was up on the mountain and there was an earthquake and there was a fire and there was all this chaos that happened, right? But God wasn't speaking. He didn't speak to Elijah in that. All of a sudden, Elijah heard a whisper, and that's where the Lord was. God is not a God of chaos. So when your life start lifing, right? When your life starts lifing, which is as soon as you get up, if you're not getting up early enough to really just allow yourself to enjoy the stillness that comes before your life starts life, and people don't like to get up early. I understand, but when I tell you that's the best time to communicate with God, that's when you're gonna hear him. That's when you're gonna be like, okay, Lord, speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Come on, Samuel, speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. So I'm saying that because the Lord said it. He said it so loudly to me, which is why I had to come back and tell y'all. Yes, it is important to receive these messages, but God don't just talk to me. God wants to talk to you, but you got to give him the time to do that. So I wasn't doing meditation before what, this week or last middle of last week. I wasn't doing meditation on here. I was doing it in TU. Why? Because I know the people who've joined me in TU, they're focused on their growth. They're focused on their relationship and developing spiritually, right? But the Lord said, no, go do it live. Okay, Lord. Okay. The Lord wake you up 2, 3, 4 day in the morning. You need to sit and just listen. I know it be hard because you want to go because you sleepy. I understand, but sometimes you're gonna have to force yourself. This is about you because the Lord be calling you at that time of the morning, y'all. Like he'll call you this morning. Told y'all the Lord woke me up at 3:16. My alarm goes off at 4, but the Lord called me at 3:16, and I was like, okay, Lord, I'm listening. What did he give me at 3:16? Come on, John. What did he give me at 3:16? Quicksand. And then guess what I did after that? After I did what he wanted me to do, I laid back down and then I got up. Then I was like, okay, I can shut my eyes for these last little few minutes. And then I was back up at 4. And then I was like, okay, Lord, get to work. Like, look, the Lord, he sure don't have business hours. He does not. Okay. He does not. So I don't know who needed that. And I hope I didn't say it harshly, but I'm going to encourage somebody because a lot of times you think the Lord ain't speaking to you or you praying, but you feel like the Lord ain't answering. Well, give him time, give him space to answer. You did, because most of the time, like me, this is my thing. I don't do I say thank you to the Lord before I lay down and before I go to sleep, but I be tired by the end. Y'all, I'm up at 4 a.m. this morning, 3:16. So I'm up at 4 a.m. By the time I lay down, y'all, it's 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm exhausted. And so I'm not gonna hear the way that I need to hear. But now I'm conditioned to where I'm up at 4 a.m. But I'm also conditioned because I got to be available sometimes for the Lord to speak. Start doing this. If you, let's say, if because right now I'm looking at the traffic, right, on the interstate, on the 8 here in in San Diego, right? Turn your radio off if you be in traffic and just be like, speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. I promise you it works. I would never tell you anything that is not going to be beneficial for you. Give the Lord time to speak to you. And the more you just show up and yeah, in the beginning, he might be not be saying a whole lot. But if you just start talking to the Lord, however you set up your relationship with him and you give him time to speak back to you, he gonna do it. He gonna do it. Okay, got my first check me after I said, I'm telling you, he gonna do it. So I don't know who needed that. And again, I hope I didn't say it in a harsh way, but y'all, I can't make you understand. Come on, Pluto. I can't make you understand the importance of just giving the Lord that time. You can come on this live, right? And you can sit for 15 minutes and write a letter to God if you want to. People be like, well, what am I going to journal? Man, just dear God, I want today to be an amazing day. Thank you for the day I had yesterday. Thank you, Lord, for waking me up and giving me another day to serve you. I'm so grateful for the great and amazing things that are going to happen for me today. Yesterday it was a little cray cray. I don't care what you say. Just talk to the Lord. Just talk to him and give him the time. Okay. Come on, secrets, information, monumental metamorphosis, cycles, endings, and beginnings. And that's what we're talking about today. So this is in the vein of this, why this is coming through, y'all. Today is the full moon in Pisces, right? So it's all about spirituality. Pisces is the most spiritual sign. This is so if you have a spiritual profession, like this is a spiritual profession for me. This is if you're a coach, if you're doing something like I'm doing, this energy for me is super strong. I'm very much connected. I'm already in Virgo season. So the ancestors name is on my neck. Okay. So the full moon energy, you're going to feel more connected, especially being in the sign of Pisces. Because why? It's all about spirituality. If you ain't walking in alignment, then you're going to feel like you want to escape. This moon will start making you want to go back to old stuff you've already graduated from. Okay. So you just got to, it's like learning these kinds of things. We gonna be talking about astrology and stuff in TU, but it's just like you start learning this kind of stuff, y'all, and you really start to grow and develop and have understanding of like what it is that God is trying to do in your life and within you. But it's gonna start. Look, come on, Pisces in the eighth house. That's Scorpio energy, right? That's the occult. That's all the stuff that we're doing right now. So just saying, let's see what else. We have the sixth house, which is I serve, that came out. It fell out. This is Virgo energy. Thank y'all. Service skills, duties and responsibilities, employment, routines. This is a house of routines. So we know that some of your routines, like this is the perfect time to start changing up your routines and start saying, okay, Lord, I'm going to commit to giving you 15 minutes. Okay. 15 minutes. So some of y'all might have, I don't know, your Mercury could be in the sixth house, any of this, your Uranus in the sixth house, your moon. Okay. I don't know. This is the astrology clarity deck. So just take how it resonates in your spirituals. Okay. Here we go. I just throw the whole cards away. Throw them away. Pisces was the card that came out, right? Pisces energy told y'all full moon, and there's a full moon card in here, and there's also a super moon card in here. Pisces energy telling y'all the spirituality is what? Real. Okay, so look, that's it. North Node. Okay, let's put these up. That's it. Which part? Which y'all want to clarify these with, y'all? No, which ones? Let's just use the ancestors. Yeah, we'll use y'all today since all to do it. Let's get to it. Here we go. Y'all like the live, share the live, share the love. Let's see what spirit nim, ancestors, spirit guides, angels, and ascended masters of the highest and purest light vibration and energy want to talk about. Oh, we got the 7 of 9, 7 of swords. Okay, so first things first, we already talked about accountability. This is also a truth card for me, right? Because this the thing, there are certain cards in the tarot that are more, I don't think any of them are negative, but they're also talking about strategy. And the 7 of swords is a strategy card for me. This is about you deciding, like, how are you going to move forward? How are you going to progress? Yes, it's a card of lying, cheating, stealing. Yes, all of that. But it's also a card of strategy. It's also a card of cutting out the lies that you may be telling yourself as to why you don't want to do something. That quicksand. This is about not, come on, God, this is about not being able to lie to yourself anymore. They said I need to put my glasses on because I got to be able to see what's passing on the interstate. Hold on, y'all. Let me put my spec. Y'all know I can't see. Okay, I'm back. Woo! Come on, God. Child, look, the way that child, y'all know that I can see now and can. Okay, I'm back because they said something coming through. Okay, I'm back. Listen, uh, the lies we be telling ourselves as for why we can't make, that we not doing something, or you better start, you gonna have to do quicksand. Okay, you can't keep lying to yourself about what God is trying to tell you. You also can't keep lying and saying that God is not trying to give you what you need. Part of, and I didn't even tell y'all the rest of this message, part of what the Lord be talking about as well, the Lord will give us something and we don't even do what the Lord, then you feel like you weighed down because the Lord didn't give you that brick to hold on to it, child. He gave you that brick so that you can do something with it. And that's part of what he told me this morning. He said he'll give us something and we'll just sit there and hold it, but then don't understand why we weighed down, why things so heavy. Well, first of all, he didn't give it to you to hold, he gave it to you to build. So what you gonna build with your bricks? Okay, like what you gonna build with your bricks? And sometimes and it'd be like, who got some weight on. It's like that weight. child, the Lord didn't get, and then you be thinking it's heavy. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it the way they showing it to me. The Lord give you something to build with it, to grow with it, to elevate with it, to build and expand. And you be understanding, you be like praying for something. You think the Lord ain't been answered, but he didn't already gave you the brick, but you just holding on to it. And every time then you keep asking for more. No, he ain't gonna give you no more. Hoarding. Come on, hoarding. You trying to hold on to everything. And the Lord say, I didn't tell you to do that. I told you to go plant something, build something, start creating something. Did I tell somebody that you was a replacement? You're a replacement. So how you gonna build? First of all, time out. Mr. TCI man, you was right up on my, I feel like you was all in my spirituals. Okay, I'm back. Um, what you gonna build? You got to do something now. We can't. I don't want to hear. You ain't gonna be able to lie to yourself because you can't lie to God. Because then you still praying for the same thing. What you still praying for the same thing for? And you ain't did nothing. Yeet. Spell it. Yeent. Yeet. Then did nothing with the first brick the Lord and gave you to build something with. Look, five of swords want to show up. You ain't then did nothing yet. You ain't then started. You ain't then started building. So you can't. You got. It's not that you should stop praying. But for a lot of us, we've already received the first brick to lay the foundation, right? You know, Jesus is the cornerstone. Come on, Lord. Jesus is the cornerstone. And so because, come on, the hermit, because look at the tower. Now look what just came up on the cut. And we've been talking about the tower this whole time. The tower. Is anybody ready? It's a lot of rebuild. I love it. It's a lot of be rebuilding energy. It's so much. I'm so happy for y'all. I know it don't even seem like it right now because when the Lord start rocking and rolling and shaking and baking in your life, when them towers start falling, baby, one thing about it, you can ride the wave. Drop that in the chat. I'm gonna ride the wave. I'm gonna ride the wave because you can literally look this on this card. They jumping out the windows, they falling head first, but they also have that trust to know that God is the safety net, right? So sometimes it's literally we in this season, y'all, that whatever is falling away is being rebuilt in a better way. It's more solid. You can ride this energy, you can use this energy to really like it's momentum. If you come on, God, if you think about momentum of a wave, y'all, like if you just ride the wave, if you just ride it out and see where the Lord is going to take you. Oh, I felt that in my spirituals. Come on, Royal. Look at the crown. There's a whole bus line. If you just ride, if you just be like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna see where it's gonna take me. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little afraid. Y'all, that's an old people name word. Sorry, old people name, but that's a old country word. Afraid, not afraid, afraid, correct. If you just see where the Lord gonna take you, sometimes you just be amazed that when you think that wave gonna take you one place, and then all of a sudden the Lord just starts showing things. It's just like the Lord will start showing up and just start look both of these transformation and Uranus, right? The Lord will just start showing up and start taking you to unexpected places. You start having unexpected things to happen because somebody is you gonna have to let this fall away. You're gonna have to. You not, and I know it's hard because a lot of times it's like, but who don't want a bigger and better tower? They just said like the Tower of Babel, right? Who doesn't want, like, even if let's say that something is a maybe you built one tower and it's strong and it's sturdy and it's good and Jesus is the rock and the foundation. Don't you want another one? Don't you want more than just that one? Don't you want to like something else? But most of us, we're in a tower that needs to fall because we're not happy with it. But even though I have, like, I'll use this analogy. I love what I do, but that don't mean that I don't want to build something else. That doesn't mean that it doesn't always have to be destruction. The tower is not always a bad card, and I think the tower gets a bad rap. And I'm gonna pitch it in a positive way because it's just like, man, if something is being torn down, that means something better is coming in. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe that if the Lord if he shakes and he bakes and he takes something away, it's so that something better can come into my life. I'll start receiving that something better. So I want y'all to start receiving that something better, baby. I'm gonna ride this wave. I'm gonna see where the Lord gonna take me. I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to go on my own. Hey, Gigi girl, what you was doing? You was cuteness. Girl, what you was outside today? I won't be back over there for a couple days. Okay, girl. You was cuteness, girl. I seen you talking to the people now. Child, they know who you are. You ain't got to show out. Don't show out. Anyway, I'll talk to you later on. Okay, I'm back. Child, Gigi be showing out. I'm back. Child, she be doing the most. What's next? The eight of swords. Hoover, I told y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all. Come on, 876. Let me pull these up here so y'all have a little understanding and y'all spirituals that we take. Can we just drop this in the chat? I'm taking some steps. We literally have that came out 6, 7, and 8. I'm taking some steps. This the thing. This a crossroads moment for somebody? Is it decision time? Is it time for you to finally say, I can't make excuses, I gotta make progress? Mm-hmm. This is the crossroads. I know I done told them before I done been to the crossroads, but I ain't know what I was doing. Okay, I didn't know what I was doing when I went to the crossroads. Like real deal, went to the crossroads. That's where the ancestors them be at. Don't go do it if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna say I said what I said. Come on, family tree. See, that's why they be saying. I told y'all that's where the ancestors and them be at. Look at the family tree just passed by. I told y'all that's because that's where y'all be at. That's where But don't you go if you don't know what you're doing. Don't you go to the crossroads? I said it again. Don't go messing with energy and deities and people and things that you don't know nothing about. Don't set yourself up. Okay. Anyway, I'm back because people be getting beside themselves. You want to go start doing, but I'm gonna say it because some of y'all know what I'm talking about because you walk in that on that side of the street, and that is absolutely fine. Okay. If you know, you know. Okay. So anyway, we're not making excuses, we're making progress. Y'all know we do that all the time. Remember, today we are focused on moving forward. We are focused on letting things fall away. We are focused on making room for new beginnings. We're not stuck. I don't who needs this? I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck. Okay. I'm not stuck. I don't know who needs to know that you can move yourself at any time. And somebody got to get that in their spirituals and understand that you can move yourself at any time. But this is about no longer lying to yourself. And this is just the real truth, right? You are the only one who can change your life. And most of us, we spend so much time blaming other people for this. Y'all spirit names coming through saying, listen, they trying to give you the keys, they trying to give you the answers, they're trying to give you the knowledge, they're trying to give you the techniques, they're trying to give you the way to receive the answers that you need. They're trying to, it's like spirit name can only do so much, just like the Lord. The Lord, I'm gonna tell you a true story, y'all. I can't make this up. Somebody finna get some keys. Come on, God. We receive the keys. Now, this could be physical keys. I receive it, right? Yesterday, did I take a picture of it? I don't even know if I took a picture of it. Yesterday, I went online. I was on the IG side of the street, and it was a message, and I liked the message. I listened to it, of course, but I liked it. Do y'all know that I was number 2222? My like was number 2222. And I said, huh. And directly beneath that message, there was an opportunity that I looked at it and I said, huh, okay, Lord. And so I clicked on it. And so this the thing, like somebody finna learn as well. It's like your discernment and the way that it's like Which part? Because it's like somebody is very interested in learning how to decipher the messages from spirit in. But can I tell you that it's gonna take them 15 minutes that you given to just let the Lord speak to you? Because otherwise you'll it's like that's how do you stop being confused about come on, God, my sheep know my voice. How do you stop being confused and know when the Lord is speaking to you? You got to develop the relationship. So when I saw the 2222, guess what I knew? I knew that because the very next thing that I saw was like, you need to do that. Okay, Lord. Okay. It wasn't no hesitation because I literally heard the Lord say that. Yes, sir. Click. See what happens. And I'm done with it because but all of that, it comes with time. It's not anything that's going to come overnight. I spent so long, y'all, not knowing, not hearing correctly. When we talk about hearing in the spirit, who somebody wants this, it's like some, I don't know, somebody, this is so much about connection till I can't even make it up. It's like you want the connection, but the missing piece is understanding how to get the connection. And the key, come on, 2222, the keys to the house of David, the connection comes from the silence. The connection comes from the consistency of showing up and allowing the Lord to speak to you, not through a prophet, not through a messenger, not through a tarot reading, not through someone else, not through anybody. No, the connection comes from you sitting with the Lord and allowing the Lord to give you to make the connection with you. And you can push against it as much. Come on, the Shamrock, you better say it, Papa. I'm trying to tell y'all the connection. You got to establish the connection first. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is the thing, y'all. Like, if you don't, you can get unstuck at any time. You can get unstuck at any time. You have got to make the decision. Come on here and start. I can't do nothing, man. I know, I feel like, and I'm not just pushing. I don't care. Even if you don't want to come on here, man, you got to do something because somebody is feeling stuck. Thank y'all. Somebody is feeling stuck, and you just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. You really don't have to get out of it yourself. You just have to allow the Lord to help you get out of it. And you keep, and it's like they're showing me like somebody crying, right? It's like you're crying when you're praying, and it's almost like you're begging the Lord to help you out of a situation. But at the same time, you're doubting the Lord. And at the same time, the Lord keeps giving you answers. It's that quicksand. It's like the Lord keeps giving you answers, but I just got to keep it a buckles. It's like the Lord can only give you the answers and the help and the resources and the guidance. What are you going to do with it? Like the Lord said, Jesus just said in the scripture, you can either be wise or you can be a fool. And I ain't calling nobody no fool, but if the Lord, let me hold on, let me go back to Matthew 7, 24 through 27. Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Though the rain comes, think about the rain. The rain comes in torrents, and the flood waters rise, and the winds beat against the house. That's them trials and tribulations, right? That's those things that's like, oh my gosh, Lord, that's coming and beating up against your what? Foundation, your tower, okay? You, if you will, or whatever you built up around yourself, or whatever the Lord, whatever the trouble, the trial, the tribulation is, right? If you listen to these words, then I'm telling you, you're gonna be all right. I'm not making this up. This is why we had the scripture today that says it won't collapse because it is built on bedrock. Are you going to listen to the words of the Lord? You ain't got to listen. Let me tell you what happened when you don't listen. But anyone who, I'm not laughing, but I like the Bible just be so here. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against the house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. I'm not making this up. We be asking for answers. The Bible literally, I don't care what, I don't care what you got going on in your life. I don't care. It's an answer for that. The Lord got it. You gonna find it in here. Are you willing to go and find it, or you just gonna keep letting the wind and the rain and the floods and the like you gonna keep getting beat up? I'm not gonna keep getting beat up, Lord. I'm not gonna be able to do it. There's always an answer. Sometimes we don't like the answer. Sometimes the Lord will tell us it could be as simple as you giving me 15 minutes of your time. Like it can be as simple or as easy as you make it. Me, daddy, daddy, I'm tired of my towers falling. I'm tired of the chaos in my life. I'm tired of things not going the way I don't do religion. Didn't want to go to church. Help me. Help. Who was it? Cat Williams? Shut up, Cat. Help me, because I can't keep going through this. I'm ready for transformation. I'm ready for change. I'm ready for new. I'm tired of this life, Lord. So show me the way. Show me how to get there. And well, it's you're gonna have to go through some things, but I'm gonna show you. And then after a while, y'all, your tower gonna be straight. And now you gonna have your foundation, and you gonna unstick yourself, because you're gonna be like, the first answer is to spend time with the Lord. I don't got no, it ain't no other answer. That is the answer. Go talk to God about it. Go talk to God. How you gonna go talk to God? I ain't got no other answer. Go talk to God. Guess what God gonna say? Go read your Bible. Go read your Bible. Matthew 7:24 through 27. Go read your Bible. And people this is me. You people don't be wanting to read the Bible, but the Bible got wisdom. And you listen. The Lord, if you have a problem, you find it in there. And then the Lord gonna say, then some people don't want to read the Bible. Okay, well, go read the Psalms. Some people don't know nothing but ain't never read nothing but the book of Proverbs. And some people ain't never read nothing but the book of Psalms. So there's always an answer. You may not want to read the whole Bible, but I done got so much knowledge and wisdom from this Bible. And again, I am not here to preach religion, because let the religiosity people them tell it. I done broke the rules, baby. I am reading tarot cards and telling y'all about scripture at the same time. Gonna do it, meant it. And guess what? The Lord's still blessing me. Woo, he's still blessing me. Moving on. Come on, the moon. I couldn't even get through to it. I couldn't, because the instructions. It's instructions. It's instructions. People think, oh, you reading cards, baby. This is a piece of paper. I could get this blank piece of paper and give y'all just like I did, and give you a message off of this, and you wouldn't think nothing about it. If I tell you what I wrote down, well, the Lord, but or you go listen to a prophet, or you'll go listen to somebody tell you about dreams, or you'll go listen to a seer, and these people in the church house, what do you think that we doing, hunting ones? The cards are not necessary. It's just a fun way to confirm God's word. I don't know, baby. I don't know. People, child, who got time for that? Who has time for that? People be so focused. You be focused on. It's not. I'll say this, and I've said it before. It's not about the method. It's about the message. What you say, Daddy? It's not about the method. It's about the message. Because the message is the mission. What'd you say, Lord? It's not about the method. It's about the message, because the message is the mission. Moving on. We have the Daughter of Sticks that is coming in, the Page of Wands. I want somebody to get excited, right? I want somebody to get excited about, first of all, your connection. This message feels very much about the Lord wants to talk to you, okay? The Lord wants to talk to you. He got something to say. He got something he want to tell you. And can I just tell y'all, there are some things that the Lord won't allow me to tell people, even if I'm doing personals, right? If somebody books a personal with me, there are certain things, there's only certain things that the Lord is going to allow me to say, because there are certain things that he needs to say to you that he ain't gonna use no messenger. And so he gonna wait until you're actually ready to receive it. And sometimes you don't be ready to receive it until that tower is falling all the way down. But this moon energy is saying, okay, God, here I come. Here I come. There, I don't care. Let me tell you, so who needs this part of the message? I don't care how intuitive people are. I'm very much tapped in with the Lord, but there are things that the Lord is not going to tell me, because he going to wait until your ears and your spirit is ready to hear it. Say that what? He got to wait until your spirit is ready to receive it. Sometimes you ain't ready to receive the things that the Lord wants to say, and that's okay. It ain't nothing wrong with that. There are certain messages, I don't care how many people you go to, how many people you can go listen to sermons, you going that answer is still going to evade you. Why? Because the Lord is going to tell you directly. You can watch as many tarot readings as you want. This me, right? I went through this. When I before the Lord was like, nope, I'm not gonna give you what you're looking for through somebody else. You gonna come talk to me about it. But the Lord meant that. Why? Because he knew that he was going to call me into service this way. And he made me go through so many times where I was looking for the answer, going and watching this and watching that. And I never could get the answer I was looking for. And the answer didn't come until I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to just show up and talk to you, because I didn't try to go listen to this prophet and this pastor, and I didn't listen to this tarot reading. And this was several years ago. And the Lord would not answer me through any of those people. He made me come to him for the answer. And then I finally got it. And I was, okay, Lord. But he waited until my spirit was ready to receive him. Come on, God was ready to receive him and receive what he wanted to give me. He wouldn't, because it wasn't nobody else's business. So sometimes we got to acknowledge that, like, the Lord ain't trying to put all your business in the street. There are some things that are only between you and the Lord. There's some things that are just that's just for you and him. There's some conversations that ain't meant to go through, be filtered. Come on, filter. And they ain't meant to be filtered through anybody else. This is a direct conversation, direct communication from the Lord. But you got to receive that. You have to receive him and allow him to give that to you. And I promise you, as soon as you show up and be like, okay, Lord, I receive it, I receive it. The Lord gonna start talking to you, and then you're gonna be thirsty for it. You're gonna be thirsty for to receive a message from the Lord. You're gonna want to talk to him all the time, because it's an amazing feeling to be in the presence of the Lord. If you ain't never been in the presence of the Lord, I'm gonna need you to get that in your spirituals, because it's addictive. It is addictive to be sitting here doing this work for the Lord. I can do this all day. I love it. I'm not doing anything of my own strength. When I tell you that being in God's presence and having that connection with him will become addictive. Addictive. I love it here. Let me get up. Oh, it's time to go talk to God. Like, y'all, it's addictive. And now, true story. When I was going through my wilderness, man, there were some times where, but that's how he started teaching me about spiritual warfare. Because come on, God, man, this is so good. Because there were times when I wouldn't, the way the enemy back in the gap used to work on me was that he would try to come in between that connection with me and the Lord. Right. And so I wouldn't feel like doing the things. I wouldn't feel like doing this. I wouldn't feel like getting up and serving the Lord. I wouldn't feel like reading my Bible. Who needs this message? That's one of the ways that in the beginning, before you just really committed to your connection with the Lord, the enemy is going to try to come in and make you stop doing the things that are spiritually related. That's reading your Bible, that's praying. You ever gone through a season where you don't even want to pray the same? Like maybe you was praying all the time, and then all of a sudden you don't even want to pray. You act like you don't know what to say and what I'm gonna say to the Lord. Then you start, well, I'm saying the same thing and God ain't listening. Can I tell y'all that this is warfare? Come on, God. The Lord had to teach me about that. He took me through a whole season of teaching me about nothing but warfare. The enemy tried me the other day, and I was like, what? That ain't gonna work. I don't care about that. I didn't even know it was warfare, but mom and them told me. They was like, you realize what that was? I say, what? I was like, child, the enemy played too much. He played too much, right? When you stop wanting to do the things that bring you closer to God, y'all, that's warfare. That's because you're close to what? Transformation. So the enemy gonna keep you from doing the things that bring you closer to God. The enemy gonna try to tell you to go do stuff that is going to take you away from the Lord instead of closer. The distractions start coming in. You don't feel like maybe you consistently show up on this live, just as an example, but all of a sudden you don't feel like coming on the live. But you know that you was always doing that. You was always coming on the live. You was always getting spirit poured into you, and it made you feel good, and you felt great, and you know what I'm saying, like you you. But then all of a sudden, man, I don't want to hear what Touche talking about. Man, I don't want to hear that. God ain't showing it. Now you start being the Israelites in the wilderness, right? And you be like, man, God he ain't doing nothing in my life. I keep praying. Now all of a sudden, all that faith you had and all that hope you had, now it's all, he ain't doing nothing in my life, man. I don't want to hear that. Man, I'm tired of hearing that. Because why? Because it ain't your season. Because sometimes some of us have been in the wilderness or coming out of the wilderness, because you got to know your season now. But I'm telling somebody that one of the things you'll start, come on, Lord, you'll start to recognize when the enemy trying to work on you, because the things that you know that are of God, all of a sudden you don't want to be involved with that. And then the enemy gonna keep on trying to bring in things that are not of God. Now all of a sudden the stuff you're watching on social media is different. Now you're watching the toxic stuff. You're getting pulled back into that. You listening to certain music that maybe you was listening to Christian rap, and now you trapped out because you ain't at a place where you don't let that kind of stuff affect you anymore. And now all of a sudden you find this just you look around and your algorithm on your YouTube and your Instagram and your Facebook. Now it's all toxicity. And then eventually you're gonna be like, wait a minute, hold on. I don't like how I feel over here. And then you get back to the Lord, and then you start, here you coming back, right? And then all of a sudden the enemy gonna come right in and try to pull you back. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tote you. But this is the Lord took me through this to make me understand warfare. But once you recognize it, stuff won't start affecting you the same way. Telling you, it's a true story. So for any of you, if you start feeling like you don't want to do the things that you know have been uplifting you and motivating you and inspiring you, you start pulling away from the people who you know are speaking life into you, who are really supporting you. All of a sudden you don't want to deal with them, and I don't even want to be bothered with them. And don't act like we don't always have our days, because you're gonna go through a day or two where you don't want to be bothered, and that's cool. But just watch how much time you spending away from people who are walking on the side of the street that you know you want to be on. Trying to tell y'all. Okay. Get it. I'll be excited, y'all, about about talking about the Lord and just helping people. But it took me a long time to get to that point. And I'm still a work in progress, y'all. I'll never say, hey, look, grandma, grandpa, telling y'all two of cups, right? This is the thing. And so this is y'all spirit names coming through saying, yep, show right. My grandma and my grandpa are on the two of cups card in my new oracle and my new tarot deck, right? I put them on there. Telling you, telling you. Okay. So I don't know who needed that message, but the messages is coming through today. Why? Two tapped in. Two tapped in. Then I just say, oh, I did, Papa, love you. Remember, I just said the shamrocks. That's my Papa sign, y'all. That is the relationship I've set up with him. That's his sign to let me know that he's here. He's present. Like I told y'all, like, man, spirit and them don't be playing. Your angels, if you will, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended masters. What is love you too? Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Just saying, love y'all. What else? Child, look, we didn't got, let's do Mercury. What's the mess? What else? Child, I feel like this been the whole communicationals that needed to happen. Period. Receive it. What else y'all want to talk about, child? I tell y'all, I love it here. We have the Nine of Wands with the Fool at the bottom of the deck. So this is the other thing. So who needs to know how much can I support protection? This was crazy. I just revamped. I just added somebody to the Nine of Wands card yesterday. Blue by Blue show did added you to the Nine of Wands yesterday. This that perseverance. But let me tell y'all what the first thing is that's coming through. Strength. As we're clarifying, some of y'all are strengthening. This is strengthening your connection. The first thing they just said, strengthening your connection. And that's what we've been talking about, right? Yesterday, and I offer this to everybody. If you would like to have your face in the place in the Clarity Tarot deck, you can put your picture, you can email me your picture, and you can send me what your best attributes are, and I'll put you on a card in the Clarity Tarot deck, because that is a way for me to give back for those of you who have supported me, right? And so you can you can put your face in the place and get on a card. Now, next thing is, which part? For some of you, your spirit names are trying to communicate protection. They're trying to communicate and let you know that everything, first of all, is going to be all right. And it's sometimes when you think, it's like we'll start to think that we're going through things by ourselves, but you're really not. You're not going through these situations by yourself, but it's about believing that you have support, believing that you have protection. But as you can pray for that as well. Work with Archangel Michael for protection if you need to. But this is about knowing that you're protected, knowing that you're going to be safe, because they're saying the word safe. Like, maybe you're afraid to take a leap because it's like the safety is so important, but you got to know that you're already protected, you're already provided for, and wherever you're going, the Lord is already there. The Lord is already there. It's simply about you catching up to where the Lord is trying to take you. Y'all know we're always catching up. We're catching up to the Lord. But it's like when we down here, it's like, don't catch up, keep up. But you got to know that wherever you're going, the Lord is already there, because he's already created the path for you. So for some of you, that's what your spirit names are trying to convey. Mind you, we have the mother, which is my mama. Told y'all, a lot of ancestor energy coming through. Then my grandma and my papa, just like continuing to try to, it feels like they're trying to coax somebody. They just said like coax. I guess that's kind of like, like, come on, come on, come on, there's a new beginning that's waiting for you. Okay, so I don't know who needed that part of the message, but you're protected in this new beginning. You just got to set out and start walking in this direction and start moving. And yes, my grandmama is a Pisces, y'all. The number 225 is what represents my grandmama. She is a Pisces, and we can finna clarify the Pisces card as well. So it's something you're being, it's, I don't want to say lured, because that's not like the word, but it's almost like that energy that they're trying to just like, come on, come a little closer, come a little closer. That's what the Lord is saying. Like, come closer, come higher, come, let me show you some things. That's that great and unsearchable things that you don't know, but you don't know until sometimes until you may hear, someone may make you aware. But the Lord, it feels like the Lord is calling you to just come and just come, like, come here. That's it. It's just like, come here, especially during this time, especially with this moon, right? So it's just like, come here, call to me, and I will show you great and unsearchable things that you know not of, right? Jeremiah 33:3. So some of y'all, it just feels like you're just being called. Is come on, the Ace of Pentacles, come on, the Strength card at the bottom of the deck. You're just being called, right? And sometimes, Gigi girl, what you was doing? Girl, you was cuteness. You was outside today, wasn't it? I seen you, girl. Yeah, child, you was cuteness. Um, Sometimes it's a little scary when the Lord start calling you a little closer, y'all. But he gonna keep calling. Because it's just a part of you. It's like he gonna keep calling you. He's not gonna stop calling you. And the Lord will stay with you as long as you stay with him, right? And then we just talk about strength. Come on, strength. When we just talking about this on the Nine of Wands. Told y'all. Can't make it up. Okay. And the strength card is my personal card in the deck, of course, but or one of them, but like my I guess my most personal card in the deck. So this is about knowing, like strengthening the connection as we talked about on the Nine of Wands. But also like I can't even make it up. Some of y'all, when you really tap into this power that the Lord is trying to show you that you actually have, you just don't even realize how strong you are. You don't even realize how powerful you are. But somebody finna start finding out. Message. Let's clarify Pisces and we'll be done. Because why? Because you like it's like a powerful bloodline. Thank y'all. It's like you have a powerful bloodline. And you may not, maybe you didn't know that, but you do. You have a very powerful bloodline. And so it's like some of you, it's like really stepping into that energy. Some of y'all might have a spiritual calling, but it's like you have really strong spiritual support. And it runs in it runs in your family. It runs in your family. This is that ancestral power and wisdom that comes in. Like you weren't the first one. You're just continuing. You're picking up where, come on, look, I'm telling you, Aunt Caroline, 10 of Pentacles up under that, Mother, the Queen of Cups up under that. Yeah, this runs in your family. Yeah. And so some of you, you're stepping into that power. They're passing that power on to you, like really saying, yeah, because as we talk about, you the one. Okay, you the one. So, yep. Come on, 10 of Pentacles, we receive it. That's it. You're stepping into that power. And this is clarifying the spirituality card, right? The Pisces card, like this, that's why they're so big on the communication and really mm-hmm. Yeah, child. For some of y'all, it's going to be about belief. Like you got to believe, child. You got to believe that you're receiving this communication. And you got to be willing to receive it because your messages, that's why they so big on, I don't know what you want to do or how you want to do it. But baby, you going to start giving spirit and them this time. Some of y'all are at a step where you really, what you sound like, what God sounds like. And so for some of y'all, your spirit names are getting ready to start introducing themselves. Look at the sun telling y'all your spirit names getting ready to start introducing themselves. Some of you, depending, everybody's at a different place. And if you believe in any of this, then yes, some of you are getting ready, you're practitioners. You're getting ready to start talking like spirit and them really going to start introducing themselves. You have different spirit guides that work with you at different points of your life. It simply depends on what it is that you're doing at this point of your life. If you're gonna have like different angels. If you work with archangels, right? Archangel Michael for protection. Y'all know Archangel Uriel is my personal archangel. So when I'm creating something, yesterday, for example, I sat down and I literally created the stickers, the journal stickers for each one of my oracle decks. There's journal stickers that you can use, whether you and I, not only did I create the stickers, but I also sat down and really was working on the 336 Tarot and Oracle Tarot Journal, right? And so yesterday I was just tapped in all day, like just nonstop. I was like, man, I just got to get this done. I got to figure it out. And so that's all I did yesterday. And so for some of you, it's like starting to learn which ancestors, which spirit names, which angels are working with you, are basically your muse while you're stepping into your new beginning. And so that literally is where some of you are at, which is why they're so heavy on the communication. When come on, God, this why you got to first know what you sound like. You got to know what God sounds like. And then because the Lord he's not gonna, you don't want to rush that connection with spirit nim. Who needs this message? You don't want to try to rush and start, because a lot of times the Lord won't let them. The Lord won't let spirit nim communicate with you until you know what he sounds like. How do you know what God sounds like? Because you spend time with God. Do you understand how all of this goes? You start spending time with God, so my sheep know my voice. Why is it so important to establish that relationship with how God sounds? Because then you won't be led astray. Because if you start trying to connect with stuff and you don't know what God sounds like, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna be over there off-roading again. You're gonna be off-roading over there, and that's not where we're supposed to be. How do you learn what God sounds like? You spend time with God, you talk to God, you communicate with God, you spend time in the Bible, you start doing the things where God resides, the things where He's going to be able to speak to you. Then and only then will you be able to really start communicating, if you will, with angels, because they don't trump the Lord. So you got to have that relationship with yourself, which is God speaking to you, right? Within you, the God within you, because they don't reside within you. Does that make sense to somebody? God, only God is within you. Your spirit names, your angels, they gonna speak from the outside. God speaks from the inside. So you got to get familiar with self, which is familiar with God, before you start trying. If you hear something from out here that's not coming from in here, that ain't God. And well, I don't want to say that because it can be, but in my experience, God speaks from within. Mom and them speak from without. Does that make sense? I hope that helps somebody. That's why it's so important to start communicate, like maintain, like starting that communication. And this is the perfect time to set that intention. Y'all know me, I'm all about setting an intention. You start setting an intention that you're going to give God your time. And the more time you give God, the more time God will give you. Does that make sense? So start connecting, y'all. That's it. That's all I got. I realize that I speak from fear, but when I hear from God, it feels different. Yeah, God will never put you in a state of fear. He'll never, if anybody, anything trying to make you fearful, that ain't God. He doesn't do that. God never makes you fearful. Ever, ever, ever. That's why, and y'all know I'm a fan. I'm telling you to read the Bible, but even I done said to God, somebody, a man wrote that. Because one thing that I have never experienced from God is fear. And I wholeheartedly believe, and people can disagree with me, and I don't care. The God that they be talking about in the Old Testament, that this up there killing folks just because like he had a temper tantrum, that ain't God. God ain't on that. He ain't just killing people because, oh, you made me mad. What? God ain't on that. Things had to happen, I imagine, the way that they had to happen, just like it happens in the world. But I also, and come on, God, let me give you an example of this. We read this, and I want to say it was back in second Samuel and Second Chronicles, because of course in First and Second Chronicles they're chronicling the different kings and things, and it's, you can see this, and I talked about this when we did um these particular chapters, right? The difference in the wording in back in Second Samuel, I want to say whatever it was, maybe Second Samuel 30, it literally said, and God, it was like, and God was mad. Let me find it. I got to find it because now I'm not gonna be able to rest until I do. Literally, the wording changed where it went from, and God, they angered God. Matter of fact, come on, God, it was when they was doing the census. David was redoing the census, and it literally went from where first they attributed it to God, but then the second time around they attributed it to Satan. And I stopped the whole Bible clarity because I said, hold up, time out, uno momento, nim. Hold on, Lord. I say, that ain't what it said the first time. The first time it was talking about, man, I wish I could find it. Because I remember so specifically saying, hold on, that ain't what that said. The first time it was like David angered God because he redid the census or something. But the second time it was like, and Satan, it was like Satan. So you got to understand, like, y'all, this was written by man. So this is the further lets me know God ain't on that. He ain't on killing and because otherwise that's why you got to understand you can't take everything in the Bible literally. I did. I went and I stopped the whole live, didn't it? I sure did. I stopped the whole Bible clarity and went and looked it up and said, hold on, that ain't what that said the first time, because it was the first time that I had ever heard Satan mentioned in the Bible. From the time we've been reading it, we now at Second Chronicles 13 and 14. I stopped the whole message and said, hold on. I ain't never heard nobody say nothing about Satan up until that very point. And I went back and found it. And because I was like, that ain't what that said. I know that ain't what that said because I had never heard them mention Satan in the Bible. The first time of my awareness that I had actually heard them make reference to Satan was in the book of Job. And we ain't there yet. I sure did. I stopped the whole live, the whole video and said, I'm finna go find this. Found it. Even in Genesis, he was a serpent. The first time to my recollection that the word Satan appears in the Bible is in, I want to say it's somewhere in Second Chronicles, y'all. I can't remember exactly where, but that's the first time that the word Satan was actually used. So to the best of my knowledge, I didn't see it no time up until then. So anyway, so you just got to understand it. And it's stuff like that that make me be like, so why y'all? Because I don't know, at some point Satan was introduced. But remember, a man wrote the Bible. That's why you read the word and then you go and talk to God about it, or you tell God that I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Start reading the book of Joshua and you start hearing about how all the things that the killing folks, just killing and killing and killing. Like the book of Joshua can have you a little disturbed in your spirituals. Like, wait a minute, Lord, you just killing everybody. Ain't nobody got time for that. Y'all better talk to God. I'll be quick to tell the Lord, like, I don't believe that. Not the God I serve. But that was beneficial for people. It's like people trying to put the fear of God in people. But can I tell y'all the way that the Lord explained the fear of God to me? The fear of God is not having God in my life. It's not me being, and you can say what you want to say, but I said what I said. God is not trying to make us fear him. I'm fearful of ever losing God in my life. That is my fear of God. It is not, I'm going to do something and I'm going to make God mad and he's not going to love me, because that would be a whole contradiction. Because does the Bible not say he will never leave you nor forsake you? So you can't make God mad. God don't get mad at you. If you do something wrong, God will be like, now, you weren't supposed to do that. That wasn't right. You can't, because that's what, but that comes from understanding and then going back to God and saying that that's why people be having problems, be having religious trauma and things. Why? Because people be trying to teach to make them people take the Bible literal, and if you do that, the Lord not gonna love you. But wait a minute. God say he'll never leave me nor forsake me. And he said in the Bible that as long as I look for him, I will find him. But if I abandon him, he will abandon me. But wait a minute, the Bible say he will never leave me nor forsake me, because he can't. He's not going to. There's people now that are trying to encourage us to be afraid. The Lord don't want us to be afraid of him. That's man that's trying to make you afraid of a God who loves you. That's why people don't go further, don't have more than what they have. That's why people have a poverty consciousness, because all God does is give. That's all the Lord wants to do, is give. But you can be listening to people and man, they'll have you thinking that the Lord punishing you, that me, right? Just a couple months ago, Lord, what are you punishing me for? The Lord ain't been punishing me. He don't do that. I don't care what you say. And ain't nobody gonna make me feel, and can't nobody change my mind. You can't change my mind. That's why you got to read for yourself, study to show thyself approved, right? You got to be willing to go to God and be like, God, I don't agree with this. For God to be like, good, you shouldn't. Because that's what he did to me. Good, you shouldn't. Because that's why I say this to y'all. If you limit God to this Bible, you'll never know him. because you can't, because a lot of this is something that man wrote at whatever time they wrote it in order to suit the needs of what they were going through at that time. You read something and be like, "No, I don't know about this, daddy, what you say about this?" And daddy be like, "Yeah, that ain't me." So that's just it. It was when I found the Bible in the science fiction section. Man, listen. And this the other thing. You can't believe in you if you I don't understand how this a whole nother message, and then I'm finna go. Right. This the other thing. How can you not believe this okay, how do I say that, Lord? Why people think God just stopped doing miracles? How can you read the Bible and read about all this magic that happens in the Bible? You think God just stopped? God just stopped doing miracles, signs, and wonders? No. How can you read the Bible? How can you believe that God was back there raising folks from the dead with like raising Jesus from the dead? How can you believe that they was casting out demons? How can you believe in the stuff that's in the Bible, but then call stuff magical and occult? What? Make it make sense. What is the Bible if not magical? What is the Bible if not, you mean, so you said Jesus had spit on the ground and took some mud and put it on somebody, this man's eyes, and now he could see. I was blind, but now I see. So you mean to tell me that uh Paul, better known as Saul, right? Saul was going to kill some Christian people named the people who were the way, right? Because it didn't used to be called Christianity, it was called the way. And so you mean to tell me that he was riding to go persecute some Christianity people near him, and then all of a sudden he fell off the horse, and Jesus say, "Paul, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" Paraphrasing. And then all of a sudden he was blind, and then they had to be led to Straight Street. And then he was there and he didn't know what was happening. And then the Lord had told what, I don't remember which person it was, one of them disciples them, he said, "Go over there to on Straight Street and find Saul." And Saul, he went over there because the Lord told him to. And all of a sudden, he put his hands on him. And then all of a sudden, the scales. What scales? How you get scales on your eyes, Lord? How you don't believe it, man? You mean they were just touching people and Jesus was spitting on people and using his spit, and then you mean, oh, hold on, wait a minute, you mean all she did, that woman with the issue of blood, you mean all she did was touch the hem? Lord, let me touch the hem. I won't touch the hem. And she was healed. How you turn water into wine? How you do all these great and miraculous and magical things, but you don't believe magic is real? Make it make sense, Sway? Oh, I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there for anybody who still be talking about witchcraft and all of that. What well, what God did in the Bible? Oh, that wasn't witchcraft. No, because it's God. What you call it? Oh, it was a miracle. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Very goodness. You like it, I love it. Look, I'll be a witch. That's why I tell people, you think it's an insult to me to call me a witch? I receive that. All you using cards, baby. This is a piece of paper that somebody didn't print something on. So what? I'll be that. No worries. Just saying. I ain't trying to be funny, but that's them church people. Them, I'ma say, Lord, I'm almost saying too much, ain't it? I'm saying too much because I don't like how people be trying to show out and I don't like how people be trying to do Lord. I don't like the way people be trying to play in God's face. I am not a fan of it. And I'ma say this, and I mean what I say. I'ma say what I'ma say. The Lord said, because you did, Daddy. You said it to me yesterday, but sometimes I don't be saying, well, most of the time I don't be saying the stuff that Lord tell me. But yesterday, I want to say this, and then I'm probably going to be done for real, maybe, because it get on my nervous system. Uh, y'all know the reason why I don't focus on talking about the suffering Do you realize that one of the things that keep people stuck is focusing on Jesus's death and his suffering? Is too much emphasis placed on the suffering. It's too much emphasis placed on the pain. It's too much emphasis placed on that. Do you know that Jesus knew what Jesus was going? You knew he knew his assignment, right? Y'all do know that Jesus knew what he was going to do. He knew what he was coming here for. Do you understand that people focused on, if you focus on, oh, he died for me, and I don't mean this in no disrespectful way. Yes, he did. But Jesus knew what he signed up for, y'all. He knew it. He knew what he signed up for. If you are listening to anybody who is trying to make you focus on Jesus's suffering and Jesus's death more than come on, God, more than Jesus's life, you're not listening to the right person, because Jesus did so many great and amazing things in the 3 years that he was blessed to do God's good work. Before that, he was a regular schmegular person, carpenter, all that good stuff. But then he had that mission that he had to fulfill in them 3 years between 30 and 33, that he had to get some work done. Jesus did so many great and amazing things in that time. So if you listening to anybody who telling you to focus on his suffering, it's making you think about your suffering, and that ain't what Jesus trying to do. He ain't trying to make you focus on the suffering. He's trying to make you focus on the amazing things, the love that he came to share and give into this world in the time that he had to do it. Don't let, because why? If you stay focused on your suffering, you are going to stay stuck, because you're going to keep replaying the pain. You're going to keep on replaying the pain, replaying the pain, replaying the pain. And all you're going to be focused on is that. And guess what? You ain't going to get nowhere. Remember, we getting unstuck. Don't do it. I don't care who you listening to, preacher, pastor, bishop, tarot, prophet. If they making you focus on the pain, they're keeping you stuck, and that's not who you need to be listening to. Yes, he died for us, and we are so grateful that salvation came from his death. But God didn't say go keep on focusing on that. Keep on focusing on the hurt. Yes, it's terrible, and we're so grateful. But God didn't say focus on my pain. God didn't say focus on my suffering. He said focus on my love, focus on my life. Man, listen. I said what I said, because people be playing in God's face, and that's what's keeping God's people stuck. And it pisses me off, y'all, because why do you think it's so many people that are stuck and that lose hope and that lose faith? Because you go start listening to folks, then people start putting this label, oh, it's prosperity teaching. Why are you trying to keep people from focusing on positive stuff? The Lord is trying to help us to get unstuck. Do you realize it's a difference? The 1% and the 99. Them people ain't focusing on pain, discomfort, suffering, lack, none of that. It's people down at the bottom who don't have an understanding. People losing faith and losing hope, because God didn't tell us to focus on that. He came here so that he can teach us about love, to love ourselves and our neighbors, and so we can have a prosperous life. He didn't come to make us focus on the pain and the difficulties and the challenges. Man, listen, and folks be getting on my nerves, because that's why people have so much trouble getting out of what they trying to get out of, because we be focused on the wrong thing. Anyway, I'm back. Yeah, child, playing in God's face. Anyway, I said what I said. And then talking about they doing the work of the Lord. Why is you trying? God didn't tell you to make somebody be focused on. You go to church, or you go to listen to something, and you crying, not because you not crying happiness, you crying because you just, all you keep thinking about is your pain and your suffering and how much you got going bad in your life. And you mean you gonna keep going back listening to that? You mean that's what I'm gonna get every week when I, no, not me, dog. I ain't gonna, no. You be having a good week, and all of a sudden you go to church, and now you feel worse when you leave church than you did when you got that. No, dog. I ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna keep taking me back to my pain points. You not gonna the Lord's didn't deliver me from some things, and what you not gonna do, you're not gonna keep taking me back to my pain. And I don't know who need that message, but when you got to start paying attention, child. I ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna keep making me relive this pain every Sunday. The hell? Child, I said it. Child, I done got in my spirituals. I'm back. What? Lord, help him, Lord. People mad. I'm gonna say this. People mad because this man, I seen this a few months ago. There was a man and they was turned up in the church. Y'all mad because these people's up in here turned up in the church, but they in the church. At least he trying to not make these little people in them focused on the pain. I don't care what nobody do in your church. Are you serving the Lord? No, but no, no, homeboy. No, no. No, I spend enough time on my own trying to think about the stuff I'm going through sometimes. I'm supposed to come here to get uplifted and encouraged and elevated and motivated and inspired to love the Lord. You're not going to have me up here focusing now. No. You better say it. Child, I done got in my spirituals about these little people now. That's why I don't listen to a lot of people. And I'm not saying it's wrong. And I don't care who you listen to. But if they keep taking you back to your pain, I'm going to need you to do some evaluation. Because what? I'm not going to live in pain. I'm not going to live in my pain. And I'm not going to live in my history. What? Because who? Baby, you'll never get unstuck. I said what I said. Okay, I'm back. Cause what? So I'm gonna keep talking about all this positive, good love, Lord, love, light, and healing energy from the Lord, because that's what gets you unstuck. Why you think the Lord, we said, is shaking, rattling, and rolling these churches because they're not doing right. You got to teach the people them right. Teach people how to be positive. Teach them that. You know, I'm big. I said what I said. Like, true story, y'all. So that's what's happening. Folks be like, man, but you don't think nothing about it because you looking at people to really encourage you and uplift you. But it's just like sometimes you gonna at some point you gonna sit back and be like, man, I I I feel worse when I leave church than I've been. I feel worse. I feel worse. Ain't no way I'm finna leave a place where I'm supposed to go to get uplifted and elevated and motivated and encouraged and inspired. Ain't no way I should leave feeling worse than when I came. The reason we come to the Lord is to feel better, is to get that weight up off of us. Oh, I'm big. I said what I said. And this is not anybody, this is not, and not, this is just I don't care what this is. I don't care if you go to YouTube church. I don't care if you go to a physical church. I don't care where this just pay attention. This is the things, like things the Lord will start making you understand, y'all. You can get a word from anywhere, but every word ain't a good word. If some people could come over here and be like, oh, I don't, that's cool. That mean my message wasn't for you, and I'm not mad. But if you ever leave my life feeling worse than when you came, I'm not doing God's work. I am not doing what God told me to do. And that's a true story. And I will, and please, if you ever feel worse coming to my life than you did when you got here, you need to email me and be like, Touche, I just want you to know I felt real bad when you left because you just kept on go da 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 da. And I ain't talking about because I was speaking truth into your spirituals. I'm talking about it because I gave you a spirit of depression, a spirit of hatred, a spirit of anger, a spirit of anything that is positive. Because over here, oh, I'm going to stay on some good energy, baby, because good things happen to me when I stay uplifted and elevated and motivated and inspired. My life be going good when I talk about the goodness of the Lord. Come on, goodness of the Lord. What? Come on, the grandchildren. Come on, the star. Because the way my faith set up, baby, listen. I done told the Lord quick. Lord, I hope I wasn't too harsh. This me. Daddy, I hope I ain't say that wrong. Cause sometimes I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say it how I'm gonna say it. Is meant it. What? I'm telling y'all, like I'm over here trying to help people be faithful. Thank you so much for the gifts, dearest one. Like I'm over here trying to help people be faithful, baby. I'm talking about the Lulu faith. You better come on, mama. Mama, say it again. Now you better what? I meant it. Come on, the sun. Jesus, come through, Lord. As the sun literally came through the clouds. Y'all seen that. Can't make it up. I love the Lord. I want people to know the goodness of the Lord, not the other stuff. Thank you, Lord. We receive that sunlight shining through. Period. I'm back. Eh, that's always the goal. That's it. That's all I got, y'all. That's it. Lord, this was a good message, child. This was good. That's it, y'all. That's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul and things because I be excited about the Lord because I love doing God's work, man. Like I love what the Lord has blessed me to do. You know what I'm back? Hydrate your soul and things, drink your water, say your gratitude, have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose and on purpose. Thank y'all so much for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes, the love. I'm so truly grateful. Y'all, make sure y'all stop by my website, touchegermain.com. Get your new tarot journal. It's on order. Get you one of them journals, the Hydrate Your Soul iPop journal. Get your tarot stickers so that you can use your stickers in your journal. Y'all drop by and shop with me. I got some new things that I've added, so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate your support. Hopefully I have some good news to share with y'all. We're gonna see what happens. I hope I have some new things coming in. Um, next week. But make sure you go and pick up your journals, pick up your cards if you don't want the actual cards. If you want a scripture, go get you some tarot. They're customized tarot stickers, okay? And if you don't read tarot, then get you some scriptures, a word in the wilderness, get you this morning's message so that you can use those and help you with your journal prompts. So y'all grab those off my website. What else? I think that's it. The tarot journal, the 336 tarot and oracle tarot journal is on pre-order. The stickers are available now. Those are actually available now, and they match whatever deck you pick. If you need a scripture, I have a deck for that because ain't no excuses. You can't say I don't read tarot, so I don't want no oracle cards. That's fine. Get you some word and some scripture in your spirituals. Okay. Get you some affirmations. A word in the wilderness has affirmations, it has proverbs, it has scriptures in it as well. So I have a deck for that. Doesn't matter what you need. You need some help with your money. I got a deck for that. You need some help with your love. Like I got a deck for that. Like I have a deck for all of these things, and more of those are coming as well. So thank y'all for your support. I'm so truly grateful. Ain't no excuses, baby. The Lord said, "No, I got some for that." You don't read tarot, that's fine. You better get some word in your spirituals. Anyway, that's it. Look, come on, the Ace of Swords on the cut. I'm done. I'm finna go. That's it, y'all. Go be great and amazing. Come on with the communication. We receive it. Ace of Swords on the last card. Um, that's it. That's all I got. Y'all be great and amazing. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all again. I appreciate you. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Love y'all in real life. Bye, y'all.